So this is what I got up to before having the most ingenious idea of filming my library setup, never done before by anyone else. This is an empty room in my house my sister and I just moved into, and she was gracious enough to strike a deal with me to let me have the room for a library if she got the master bedroom. So everybody say thank you very much, best sister ever. So here is me continuing what I was doing, which is painting the entire rim of all the walls in the room. Some people paint with the roller and do the middle first. My dad always taught me how to do it this way. I don't know which is better or right, but like most born of their fathers, I'm just going to do what my dad tells me. This is not my first time painting a room. I'm very fortunate to have two parents who always let me have fun colors in my bedrooms. And when it got to the third round of changing colors as a kid, my dad just said, you know what? You got this. I just cannot be bothered anymore. So he showed me his ways and the knowledge has come in handy. Usually, I typically had one or two feature walls, but for my library, I decided to paint the whole thing because I knew that at least two of the walls would have bookshelves in front of them, and I didn't want to be limited to where I could place them based on how much colorful paint I wanted on display. And so I picked a calm light green because I didn't want the colour to overpower the room, as I can get carried away with the intensity of my wall colour at times. Believe it or not, these clips are sped up approximately 1 bajillion times, and in a way it made me insecure because I didn't realise how slow I was. It's actually quite wounding to watch, and I apologise for how much painting content you are about to witness. It's still going. We're still on the rim, and I didn't even film half of it. So basically, get ready to kick back and just listen to me talk for a while. As you can imagine, editing this video has also taken a very long time, plus I procrastinated, so this was actually done in April, which is Australian autumn. So you would think I was super cool filming this, but what you don't see is I am sweating my absolute bejesus off. But would you look at how straight that edge is? I'm incredible, so talented. I don't know if you can see, but there isn't a speck of paint on that skirting board. That's how good I am at this shit. And I'm sorry for swearing, but I'm just passionate. And that's what it really comes down to, passion. And anyway, isn't this window really picturesque? It's bringing a lot of light into what is a very tiny room, interrupting our regularly scheduled program for a paint pour, which means, ladies and gentlemen, that it's time to start rolling these motherfucking walls. And thank God for that, honestly. It was all getting a bit much. Now, if you think painting the edges of walls is backbreaking work, which it is because you're prolonging holding your body in awkward positions, well, rolling a wall is exhausting just because of the amount of pressure you've got to put on if you're trying to spread your paint out. And yes, I know, it shouldn't hurt that much because you just need to load up the roller more, but paint is expensive and I had just enough for all the square meters of the room, so I was trying to be conservative. But of course, I'm also a 2-layer queen. Why have 1 layer of paint when you can have 2? This is quite satisfying looking back, and this is one of the walls I planned on having the shelves on and curving on that right hand corner of the wall next to it. One thing about me is that I have a vision, so get on board with the vision. It's gonna look great, and you're welcome. And here we are on the window wall. Slay, slay, slay. I do regret wearing those shorts. Number one, because my pasty legs seem to reflect all light in the room and glow like the warning beacons of Gondor. And the warning here is pasty legs. Also, because while watching yourself on camera in tiny shorts is just not ideal, but I cannot stress to you enough how hot I was. This house is an up and comer and the aircon is not very good, and as a kid I was also raised to avoid ever using aircon or heating because of how expensive it is, and those habits have stuck with me to adulthood. I'm unsure exactly what I was doing down there for so long, but don't worry, the wall does get finished, and look, it's another satisfying conclusion. What you can see peeking through here is the door to my bedroom, which, placement-wise, I enjoy. It's nice to have that little corner of the house as mine, but let me tell you, I do not get to enjoy the benefits of my labor because I am basically a full-time house sitter and I am frequently bouncing around houses looking after animals when their owners go away. And to put this into perspective, I moved into this house about 8 months ago and I have probably spent a total of 3 weeks there, which is not ideal, but I love house sitting so much that I do not want to give it up. It is really fun. I get to hang out with so many different animals and experience the lifestyle of others. And fun fact about me is I can sleep anywhere, anytime, any place, any position. It's actually a gift. And would you look at that poor girl? She's exhausted. That is a face full of regret and misfortune. And I did, in fact, get paint all over myself. But now we're on to the final wall. So down that hallway that you can see is my sister's bedroom. And when I tell you she has about 14 outlets on every single wall, I am not exaggerating. The amount of plugs in that bad boy is astonishing. Do you want to know how many outlets I have in mine? One outlet on the other side of the room to where I sleep. But I'm a soldier and a warrior and I will endure. This is me discovering and putting on an Oscar-worthy performance of being upset because the last clip didn't include the finalization of the wall. It's quite devastating. but we got so much painting content that you're welcome for the early cut. Now it's cleanup time. Here I am being incredibly responsible and unplugging whatever it was I had plugged in. And yes, good job being even more responsible. What I'm about to do is use a cool device to get paint out of the roller. So this plastic cylinder has been in my family for about 15 years and has been utilized, as you can see by the dried paint, many times. And this right here is all about not wasting paint. So we are painstakingly putting a bunch of pressure to drag this down the roller and get off as much paint as we can. And I just wanted to slow it down so you can see what I'm talking about. Did you see it absolutely drip off that roller? And now I'm putting it in the tube because this is a multi-purpose tool and I'm going to use it to clean out the roller entirely. Which brings us to the part I'm most excited about, my roller cleaning tutorial. So what you do first is clip the end of the hose onto the roller tube, and then we walk to the hose and switch it on. And I just wanted to emphasize how far I had to walk to turn the hose on. It felt like I was running a marathon, except I was walking very slow. Here's me coming back, jazz hands. But essentially what is happening is water is being forced through the tube and taking all the paint out with it, and the roller is clipped in so that it doesn't come loose. Pretty cool, right? It is cool, except it takes flipping forever. And I know this looks like a lot of water, but it's so much more efficient than washing a roller regularly, and painting is the kind of thing you only do once every decade. You can see that the water coming out by the end was clear, and so now we can use the roller again for the next layer. So I'm just popping it out, and something happened that has never happened to me before, but of course happens the one time I tried to film my roller cleaning tutorial. Very embarrassing. The roller got stuck. I am so sorry you had to see this. I try to get it out with water, but it doesn't work. Again, I am just mortified, but I'm an engineer, so I use pliers and just go at it. I am under the delusion that I am an incredibly strong person, and I wholeheartedly believe that I could street fight any individual and win. So I think to myself, yes, I can pull this roller out with pliers due to my strength, but apparently I can't. So see, there's a little silicone plug, and I pull it out because I had a feeling that it was suctioning the roller in. And let me just say, that plug has never been relevant before, but it still doesn't work. And you saw in my face, I was coming to terms with the upcoming wrath of my father. So I just moved on. It's a new day, and we've got layer 2 to start, and we only need a paintbrush for the edges, so no roller. That pirate sheet used to be my younger sister's when she was a kid. She was the biggest tomboy, and honestly to this day the coolest person I know. So here I am cranking the paint pot open and giving it a stir. Stir your paint, people, otherwise it starts to separate. I love how this has turned into me giving instructions. I know nothing, I just do my best. The yellow pot, as you saw previously, is my handy paint pot for my edge work. My flawless edge work, I'll add, that I conveniently have no close-ups of. And so here we go again. I sped up these clips to 2 bajillion because it's honestly just more of the same, but I think generally you do get faster on the second layer because the paint sort of follows and extends to the edge all on its own in a way that it's kind of attracted to itself, so it's easier. I don't know the science behind that, but if someone could do a peer-reviewed study to confirm that I'm right, that would be much appreciated, and please credit me in your findings. And we got a change of angle here, and again with the shorts, I am sorry about that. The beacons have been lit, help is coming. The boxes that are cameoing in the hallway are the IKEA bookshelves I ordered. I let my brother keep my old ones in my mum's house because this time I opted for a new color. I was over the white, and I generally prefer a lot of warmth when it comes to decor, so I like to go browns and woods over white furniture, which is why I kind of love the doors in this house and the flooring of this new place. We got really lucky with the floor. It's in pretty good condition and is basically what I would have chosen for an ideal floor. And fret not, because the bookshelf building part of this video is coming. I'm filming this with an extremely old tripod, and this shot that I'm showing you right here, you can really tell the angle is horrendous, and I apologize, but here we are rolling again. I never did manage to get the roller out of the plastic tube, and I still haven't told my dad, but I found another roller, so no worries. Don't even worry about it, guys. Stop worrying. Good job, everyone. I'm even exhausted just watching this back. Painting is no joke. And it's crazy how much lighter paint looks when it's wet, but it does oxidize, and so that's another tip you didn't ask for. Paint dries darker than you think. It's just hitting me now how exciting this is. A home library is the dream. How lucky am I that I get to do this? I am dirt poor, but poor and happy. And wow, that was a roller coaster. She is done, folks. This is painted 4 walls, 4 dreams, 4 lives, a lot of sweat, and a girl who looks broken and sad. And so now we're cleaning. We've got a new fit, new hair, new attitude. We're excited to be here until we realize that our posture is giving Gollum. And actually now we're having the worst day, but we are prepping for shelf building, and it's finally time. The pirate sheets are evacuating, and boo, kind of iconic. We also have Star Wars sheets, the burrito blanket, and the entire galaxy. So what you just heard was me talking, and I decided that nothing I said was actually important, and ain't that the truth? Look at that broom work. My first ever job was at a bakery, and I became an expert sweeper. I'm talking Olympic level sweeper. I started working there when I was 10, which is definitely illegal, and I call it my child labor era, but it left me with this incredible skill, and now we're mopping. Another skill from my child labor era. Capitalism really won with me because I have been employed for basically my entire life. You can see me smirking in this clip because I know how good of a job I'm doing. I can mop. Do you see that bucket action? Name 3 people who can do that. I dare you. I am one with this mop. I am mop. Also, green overall sleigh. What a cute fit. And now a new sheet has entered the chat. Floral purple. Just lovely. I put it down to protect the floor and cue me talking.
I've got a corner shelf. These were all the Billy shelves from IKEA, so they're the oak coloured ones, because in my mind that was an upgrade from the white coloured ones which I've had for like years and years in my old house. So we've got the corner unit, and then I have, because the corner unit, it's like the one in the corner is small with 2 large cases next to it. I've then bought another small and large case to go along the wall, but still kind of keep the pattern of going big shelf, small shelf, big shelf, small shelf, because that just makes sense in my brain. So I'm going to try build the corner unit today. I don't think I will be able to do the other 2, and I might not even be able to finish the corner unit. All my money will be gone after this, so I figured that it will probably be fine. I'm just going to spend my money on this house, and then if I go bankrupt, at least I have a roof over my head. So I just have literally like 8,000 boxes lining the hall, so I got to figure out which one is the one I need for the corner unit, because otherwise we're just going to be building a completely different shelf, but that's fine. Oh, okay. So actually they are just separate shelves that you build, and the only part that connects it is this. So let's just build as many shelves as we want, really. I was gonna be like, I'm a big believer in putting a sheet down so you don't scratch the floor, but they literally tell you in the instructions to put a sheet down, so I'm not gonna act like that was my intellectual property to do that. So they also say, hold on. They also say that, what did they say? Oh, they also say that you need 2 people. But they've said that about everything I've built so far, so I'm just going to assume that is a suggestion rather than the instructions for all the Billy shelves. And I've known this for my white shelves too. They say that you're supposed to like screw them into the wall, but I have never screwed them into the wall, and I don't think I ever will, because nothing bad's happened so far, so touch wood, but I'm touching cardboard. So basically all up we've got 3 big shelves, 2 small shelves. I've also bought 2 extra shelves for each case, because I've just found that it lasts me longer, because you know the book buying thing does get out of hand sometimes. So by buying the extra shelves, it just means obviously there's more room to put books on, and so I can go longer without having to panic buy another shelf.
And that's enough of that. I don't know about you, but I did not find that enjoyable. It's time to buckle up and build these bad boys. Now, I am a Billy bookcase building connoisseur, as I'm sure a lot of readers are. This is not my first rodeo, and hell, I'm pretty sure it's not yours either. This is me deciding that it was really important to show you my blood blisters from building my bedroom set, but really they are not that impressive. You can barely tell. So now we begin.
So when I bought the shelves, I bought, because you can buy like extendable top units to like put on top of the shelves to make them even taller and have a whole like other section. And the reason I did that was because when I was buying the corner unit, it was saying it was 237 centimeters. And for IKEA shelves, you can either get 237 or 202. And the corner unit was only 237. So I was like, okay, like I'd rather the 202, but I'll buy the extendable shelves for the other 2 shelves that aren't part of the corner unit. But what I've since discovered is that when you buy the corner unit for 237, they actually, the reason it's 237 is because they're giving you extendable shelves included in it. So I bought more extendable shelves to like have it all matching, but I didn't necessarily need to. But I guess like at the end of the day, it just means more space. So, you know, I guess it was like a lucky mistake.
Okay, now we actually begin. I, by the end of this process, got the worst carpal tunnel from screwing everything. These are the sacrifices we make as readers. People are lying when they say it's a low effort activity. It was all coming back to me as I was building, and I felt so slay in my overalls. I felt like a real working handyman, which I am, and the sheer strength I possess is unparalleled. Look at that effortless lifting of wood planks. And so now I realize that the room is too small for me to slide the back panel on, so we have to rearrange. We start from the hallway. I'm cleaning up a little bit, and I'm going to play the audio sped up because it's low-key satisfying.
Okay, I feel like it didn't need to be that hard, but we did it. And there's no aircon in this room, so to prepare for clothes to come off. Because I can only get quicker, right? So like, maybe I will get it done today. And I probably shouldn't put the shelves in until I complete the corner. So I'm just gonna move it, and I'm gonna be really careful not to hit the wall because I spent 3 days painting. So there you go. And I haven't extended it. I'm literally so strong. What the fuck? No! Doom. Alright, so we do have a problem, and that is that I put the side with the lines right here. And that is just not gonna work for me. Oh wait, they both have lines. Which side do I want? Probably the other side. Fuck. I'm gonna have to redo that whole thing. Okay, it's fine. So this is probably like top 3 worst things that have happened to me, because I did in fact put this on backwards.
I had to cut the audio due to the expletives, but this was actually a lot easier to get off than I thought, because I remember a time when you used to use nails on the back of a Billy bookcase that you hammered in, so thank God they changed that. And I also took the stickers off this time. We're also lucky because the door is only just wide enough for us to open the back panel to slide into the bookcase.
Oh my god, how easy. Oh my god, wow. This is the first time we're doing this, everyone. That's so crazy. I can't believe I'm doing this for the first time.
And here we are putting the nails in for the very first time, and watch you make the same exact joke in the next clip.
Wow, we did it for the first time. And the thing is, I knew if I didn't correct it immediately, I would never correct it, so I had to fix it right then and there. Alright. Oh. It's not a huge room, and that makes it a bit harder because there's not a lot of room for error. One down. Oh boy. This is gonna be big. I might have to rethink this corner because there's one plunger here and it is gonna probably be behind the shelf. So yeah, and it's done. So let's start the second one. Okay, at least that happened to the first one and I caught it straight away, otherwise would have been doing it to all of them.
Okay, shelf 2, and it's only a skinny one because I wanted an easier task. And you know what? Cue the music. I'm tired of talking.
actually just have a box cutter, so. The life hack can connect to us all along. I'm totally gonna get this all done in one day. It's 11 a.m. And I need this. And I need this. And I don't need these. I said earlier, I've worked out that this is kind of the only thing that really slots it together, and because I'm not nailing it to the wall, I'm thinking by doing this, I'm just adding weight that's going to topple over, so I feel like it's not even worth doing. Hot take. So what we're working with is that height, and that's part of the corner, and I've done that one right there to put right here. But I'm gonna build just one extension, which is supposed to go up there, just to see if it's gonna fit. So that's what we're doing right now.
The extender was very easy to build, and I just want to note that if I played the audio on all of these clips, and I mean every single one, it would literally just be me singing You Are in Love by Taylor Swift, but specifically only the same two lines over and over again. So you're welcome. I spared you from the misery that I had to endure by me.
Getting up here. Yeah. Look, this is a bit optimistic. Ooh. Or is it gonna work? Oh my god, it's gonna work. Oh shit. Damn. Easy. This shit is easy. And again, I'm just not gonna nail it to the wall. I'm sorry. But it's not happening. I'm not gonna do it, and I'm never gonna do it. I think I like that more. Rather than the short one, I feel like that's better. The only thing is it messes with my, because I have a very specific way that I place the shelves for like height purposes. And that is like very large, but I could store, oh, you know what? Not to flex, but I do scrapbook, so maybe I could chuck some stuff up there. But yeah, why not? Let's just make it more. And that's the fourth shelf done, another little one. I hope the pattern is making sense now, and I hope you saw that sneaky thumbs up and whoa man, overboard. And guess what? I didn't even notice. So that fifth and final shelf ripped to her because she doesn't get her moment in the sun. And yes, I filmed the entire thing at this angle. Cinematographer who? Nobody is doing it like I am. This is what a real auteur looks like. They take risks. I still haven't noticed. And now we're slotting in the fifth and final shelf. Huzzah! Call the town crier. We have an announcement. And now we're building all the height extenders. And is this shot not Studio Ghibli worthy? Like, this light is making me feel warmth and happiness and love. And not gonna lie, my hair kind of popped off in this clip. Somehow, without even trying, I managed to claw clip my hair into the most majestic bun with tendrils of hair beautifully draping out. And my ladies will know this is always done by accident and can never be recreated. So just enjoy it for now. It doesn't look like it, but I did actually build all the extenders in this clip. And unlike the others, this is not sped
up. This is real time, I'm just that fast. Good luck catching me. So these bad boys are going on, and it's actually, number one, crazy that they fit, but you also have to lift it higher than the length of a screw, because what I'm doing is adding a bunch of the screws that stick out up the top, and the extender has to slot onto that. So we had about a hair's width of room to work with under the roof, and man, it was kind of dangerous. Sometimes when I was lifting the extenders, I would nearly fall off the ladder. Should I have gotten a bigger ladder? Maybe. Should I have had a second person like IKEA suggests? Maybe. But I was born lucky and I'll die lucky. I genuinely don't think there's an event that I wouldn't survive. I have this innate belief that I will always be okay, and guess what? I was proven right. Put me in a battle cage with The Rock and I will be victorious. Also, the overalls came in handy for this part because I had a bunch of different screws and tools in a bunch of different pockets. Something that really annoys me though about these IKEA shelves is that they always veer to one side, so they don't necessarily line up nicely when they're all next to each other. But guess what? We're done. Look how proud she is, and you deserve to be proud, queen.
Alright, well, I'm gonna finish today by carrying the books and putting them right here. Done. I'm not doing any more.
And we didn't. Today is a new day. Look at this beautiful room. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and we're about to do our favorite activity, arranging a buttload of books. But first, we have to put the shelves in. Now, I am expertly using a book to measure the height of the shelves because since I have an extra 2 shelves per bookcase to put in, I have to be careful about my placement to maximize book storage. There's cubes that will fit the standard 19 to 20 centimeter book size, and then there's cubes that will fit the bigger 23 to 24 centimeter book size. I used the first bookcase as a guide to add all the others, and I am talking in this clip, but again, I am contributing absolutely nothing of worth to this video, so voiceover it is. The little metal inserts for this hurt my fingies, but as previously mentioned, I am the strongest, most capable, most admirable, most incredible person I know, so I am absolutely suited to this task. I'm also sorry to say I could not get any more zoomed out than this. The room is pretty small, but we're getting by. Outfit of the day includes my absolute favorite cargo pants. I love a good cargo pant. I am so glad they are back in style. If you open my wardrobe, it is about 90% pant. I am a pant girl.
So typically, the few hardcovers that I have, I keep on the bottom for weight purposes. Let me just give you a few of the, like, not rules, but sort of system that I have. And the only system is, it's not alphabetical, it's not genre, it is purely and simply height. As you can tell by the shelf, I will split up series if they are not the same height, and that's why I try to buy everything the same height when I buy a series. That is the only thing that guides where things go on the shelf. I think the Poppy Wall copy, first 2 of the series are this size, so I literally will split this up because I just can't bear not having flat sized books. It's just a thing that I have. Where to start? Great question. Hardcovers. So hardcovers are very expensive in Australia, so I rarely get a hardcover. And hardcovers typically by millimeters can be different sizes. Like there's not really a standard size, and that drives me crazy. With hardcovers, there's going to be a little bit of deviation because there's just no other solution to that. But let's not worry. In these 2 boxes, and there might be one other small box, that's it for hardcovers. Even if they weren't as expensive, I definitely prefer a paperback because it's just easier to open, and I'm not very good at keeping my books neat while I'm reading them. While they're being used, they are being used. Like they're in the bottom of my work bag, they're getting thrown around. I sometimes dog ear the pages if I can't find a bookmark, so they don't get treated very well, and that's why I'm I wouldn't say selective about when I buy hardcovers, because the biggest reason I will buy a hardcover is because I find like a good price for them. So like I've actually never read this series. It doesn't mean anything important to me. Like I know I want to read it, but this isn't Like, I haven't read it, so I don't know if it's good or not, but they just happen to be at a good price when I found them. So that's the only reason I have this as a hardcover. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to why I buy the hardcovers that I buy. However, as we all know, Robin Hobb is my absolute darling, and these are probably my prized possession. There are the illustrated versions of Assassin's Apprentice. Like, look at the map. It comes with drawings, and watch me not be able to find one. Like, it has these illustrations included, and so these are really the only hardcovers that I went out of my way to buy, regardless of the price. Was trying to find them and get them. The rest is just pure coincidence and pure chance. So there was no special reason I got those as hardcovers. But yeah, let me shut up and unpack this. Yeah, so another thing I like to do is push everything to the front, which I know is particularly dangerous since I don't nail the shelves to the wall, but I'm not a knick-knacky person, so I don't like having the space in the front, like when you push them back, having the space here to put things. It's not my vibe. This way I rarely have to dust because I can't see anything behind the books when I do it like this, so it works for me. I think I'm gonna save these for now, do something with them a bit later. I'm getting so distracted. I'm gonna get on with it now. Why there? No reason. Just gonna throw things on. I actually think that's a bit bright for that position. I'm gonna go down here. See, this is the issue I have with the way I shelve things, is then you always have these unusual size books that aren't in the standard sizes, and so then I either have this big gap here or I can't fit it. So I get a bit creative with the unusual size ones, and I'll probably do something like this at some point when I have more of this size.
And so the book placement officially begins. See if you can spot your favorites. Like I said, there is no rhyme or reason to my placement. I split genres, I split series, I split authors' works. It is height and height only. It's in my DNA. I can't and won't and refuse to change. I'm about to do something absolutely heinous, and I want to apologize now, but I adjust the camera to the most unsettling angle, and I am so sorry. I thought I was getting more of the shelf in, and I guess I was, but in a way that is not pleasing to the eye. And the best part, this is the angle that we get for the remainder of the video. This is me placing my Robin Hobb series at eye level because it's important for me for people to know that I read Robin Hobb. I read her books.
I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of space, but I'm on a book buying ban, so there's nothing I can do about that space. But just knowing that it's there will be comforting. This isn't books. This is dishes. Plates. We don't want plates in here. Look at that. Oh, I'm so strong.
So now here we are really entering what is the meat and bones of this video, and that is 7 minutes of footage of book placement, which seems far too much. So I'm just gonna let you chill and sit back with some music. Enjoy, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna spare you the jingles for this last minute and try to figure out some things to say. There's nothing more terrible than watching yourself in every crazy position you should not be watching yourself, at every angle you should never be able to see yourself. Like, it's terrible. This is awful. I'm having a terrible time. Somehow my butt cheeks are perpetually clenched and it doesn't seem healthy. Maybe I should consult a doctor about this because it doesn't look right. Again, I should mention that this was filmed approximately, well, let's see, it's November now. It was filmed in April, so April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 8 months ago. Since then, the books have mostly stayed the same with a few minor arrangements. The only big noticeable difference actually happened in this past recent week as I'm speaking to you now. I finally saved up enough money to actually furnish the rest of the library, so I did film it. There are a couple clips, which is a nice way to summarize and end the video, because had I edited this at any point within the last 8 months, this is it. This is all I had done. This is all you would have seen. So aren't we lucky I procrastinated? Fortunately, we are coming to the end of the book placement segment on this video. If you made it all the way through, congratulations to you. And why?
That's it. I'm done.
So this clip you're watching was actually filmed yesterday, the start of November. Behind the camera, my sister is building a desk because her Christmas present, early Christmas present, was a computer so she can play The Sims. She has been going to my parents' house every other day for the past 8 months that we've lived here in order to use my brother's computer for her to play Sims. She is an addict. She needs to be locked up and studied. It is quite upsetting to witness someone be this addicted to Sims. Not that I can talk, I guess I have my own addiction. Rewind to the last 40 minutes of this video. But essentially, this right here that you see that I'm doing is building my book cart, and I'm not going to lie to you, this almost got the better of me. I look cool, calm, and collected, but inside I was a boiling pit of despair because you have to figure out the evenness of the shells on your own, and that's not okay with me. I want to be lovingly guided by IKEA through the process, but they just leave you to it. So this is more or less what the library was looking like in April. There's a couple missing books because I have lent out a lot of mine, and the addition of this sofa is new. It actually only arrived October, so it's pretty new to me as well. In addition to the book cart, which I had bought that morning, I had also purchased a rug from IKEA. I thought a lot about the color scheme of this room. The rest of the house is, as you probably saw, very maximalist, very colorful, and so I wanted to try and keep it down to 3 colors, which was beige, black, and green. And I think this rug, which I just happened upon, wasn't even planning on buying, fit pretty well. My sister berated me for the vertical way I had set up the rug with the sofa and convinced me to turn it around this way, more horizontal, and I'll admit, she was right. Maybe Sims really does come in handy because she's had a lot of interior design experience. We pretended to hold up the framed prints to see what they would look like, as we can't possibly screw them in ourselves because we are tired little babies and my dad needs to come over ASAP. I did end up switching the position of the book cart, and I do add a little fake plant as I cannot be held responsible for any form of life on this earth. Basically, this is my library setup. I think it's looking pretty good. I'll update you on any tweaks made in the future. I'm sure those holes will be filled. What a journey. Only took 8 months.